I became interested in personalized and blended learning because they were buzzwords that had been thrown around for the past couple of years, and we were armed with tools this year, laptops, and a one-to-one situation in my classroom. And I like to do what I tell my kids to do: be resourceful, try something new, throw it out there and see if it works. So I decided to try and take baby steps and do small things in the classroom at first to try to see if my 10-year-olds could actually be resourceful and plan their own learning.
And then when we went to a one-to-one district where we brought in the Chromebooks, that summer leading up to it, I really looked for online ways to engage and use the technology.
As science teachers, we already use kind of our different learning stations, and this kind of took it one step further. Instead of giving them multiple different activities and giving them 12 minutes to finish, instead we gave them different pathways that enhanced their learning, and that way they can maximize their progress through learning standards.
Some of the difficulties I anticipated were Wi-Fi issues, websites being blocked, kids forgetting their laptops, not being interested in potentially using the laptops.
I was leery at first. I was afraid 10-year-olds would not be responsible for their own learning, and that without my guidance, they would not be able to know exactly what they needed to know.
I was really concerned about having more to plan in my day and finding the right resources to make this work.
The major struggle that I had when trying to incorporate the different blended and personalized learning into my classroom was figuring out how I was going to assess and give back reliable data to the students. For example, with different learning menus and grid method, it was trying to figure out how I could get back some timely feedback or also to give them a grade for that.
What I didn't anticipate was how well 9-year-olds could use these tools in a learning environment. I was very concerned that they were, every time we took the computers out of the Chromebooks at this point, it was time to play games, time to have fun. What happened was they took their learning seriously, they embraced these tools, they worked with me in the resources. The students really understood that I was learning at the same time they were learning. They were okay with making mistakes, they were okay watching me make mistakes, and we took it as we're all in this together.
This is their world. They use technology all day long. Why not use it to our advantage in the classroom? They're teaching me. Most of the time I'll throw things out there and they're showing me how to do it. I didn't anticipate my whole class being flipped at this time in May from the beginning of the year.
We've had our hiccups, we've had our growing pains, but I've been really impressed with our kids and their adjustment, their buying in, their willingness to try. There'll be days I'll say to the kids, we're going to try this, and if it doesn't work, we'll try something else. And I think there's a lesson, maybe a grit or something that the kids can gain from maybe overcoming some of those technical difficulties.
I didn't expect them to be so advanced when it came to technology, but they've actually taught me a lot of shortcuts along the way, and they're kind of my experiment. What didn't work, they let me know, and what did work, they actually let me know too.
And I think having a blended learning classroom where the kids are sometimes working face-to-face and sometimes using the digital piece, it allows different types of kids to always speak up and have a voice. The quiet kid can use the digital tool to kind of hide behind but still speak up. And from my end as a teacher, I'm able to grade, I'm able to give my kids feedback in many ways more efficiently. And in some cases there's still a learning curve, but for the most part it's maybe more efficient.
I've always enjoyed using technology in my classroom, even when we had absolutely very little in our district. But I feel like it helps us with data, to turn around data in a reliable method, and it gave me new choices and possibilities. But data aside, the lessons lend themselves to our kids and what their digital interests are, and it almost hooks them to get more excited about their learning.
This cohort has provided me with the tools and the support needed to be able to flip this classroom. I find my entire way of teaching, my way of analyzing data, my way of collecting evidence for assessment is completely different now. Just having the kids be able to find their own way. Oftentimes, if they finish work early, they're finding their own resources online to further their learning. Or kids that need a little bit more help and need a little bit more guidance are now getting my guidance. And I feel like I'm reaching all students at all times.
The students have gone places where I never could have expected. The students have taken ownership of their learning. They've taken ownership of their peers' learning. they have a voice in what they are learning. They have choice in how they show me what they learn, and they're proud of it, and they want to make it bigger and better every time.